Why are people cynical about nonviolent protest efforts? Imagine trying to change something big with peaceful words and actions, only to see little change happen. That's why many people feel skeptical about nonviolent protests. Despite history showing peaceful protests often succeed more than violent ones, doubts still grow. One reason is the decline in how often these protests lead to real change. In earlier decades, peaceful movements reached larger audiences and made bigger impacts. But since around the year 2010, fewer protests involve large numbers of people. The average participation has dropped to about 1.3% of the population, making efforts seem less powerful. When protests are small, it's easy to think they won't make a difference. Another challenge is how governments respond. Many countries have laws that make peaceful protests harder to hold or punish protesters harshly. Police might use force or arrest peaceful demonstrators, which can make the protests seem pointless. This repression can make people believe that peaceful protests are not only ineffective but also dangerous. Some critics argue that nonviolent protests don't challenge the core of unfair power systems enough. They rely on moral appeals and public sympathy, which can be slow and sometimes ignored. When inequalities stay the same despite peaceful efforts, frustration grows. People might start to think that nonviolence is just a way to delay real change or even keep things the way they are. Media coverage also plays a role. Peaceful protests often don't get as much attention as violent clashes. When protests are ignored or met with violence, the public might question if nonviolent methods are worth it. Finally, mobilizing enough people is tough. Research shows that nonviolent movements tend to succeed when at least 3.5% of the population joins in. But social divisions, political disagreements, and activist fatigue make it hard to reach that level. Without broad support, peaceful protests may not create enough pressure for change. All these factors contribute to why some people grow cynical about nonviolent protest efforts. Even with proven success stories, these obstacles can make it seem like peaceful activism isn't enough. Still, understanding these challenges can help activists plan better and keep pushing for social justice through citizen action.